Also continuing on, and Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 22. A sound of battle is in the land, and of great destruction, because this third world war. Okay, now these militaries and nations have I.C.B.Ms. So it's gonna be can you imagine the devastation? Because it's not just America and Israel who are gonna get hit. There's gonna be a lot of places, around the world that are gonna get hit. And you see how advanced and how powerful these I.C.B.Ms are now. With these nations, around the world, they're supersonic missiles, they're ballistic missiles. Okay, they're way more powerful than what happened in Hiroshima. All right, so can you imagine these missiles just all going off around the world at the same time? It's great destruction. Total devastation. Annihilation. Verse 23. How was the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? Talking about America. Okay, because America is known as the hammer of the earth. Why? Because America goes around, doing whatever she wants. And if other nations have a problem with it, what can they do? Because America would just, bomb them or just take them over. See? Because it's pretty much, that's pretty much how war goes. Whoever has the biggest guns has the last say. Whoever's stronger, is gonna win. Is gonna have the last say. See? How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? See? How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? Right. Because it's gonna be a shocker to the world. But it's coming. See, so that's why these Edomites, starting with Trump on down, are so full of pride, because they have a reason, to be prideful, because they do have that technology, It's not like they're not doing anything. They do have that power. Okay, it's just that when they try to come against the Lord, yeah, then they look retarded, But in this world, they do got it like that, The reason why America's like that, full of pride, because they do have it like that. They go around the world telling everybody what they can and cannot do, and they don't give a shit, because they got the good toys, they got the good shit. Excuse my Italian, because they do have it like that. See? So, one more time. Verse 22, how was the hammer of the whole earth, America, cut asunder and broken? See? Because people won't really think like, man, America, America won't go down. Like, there's no way. Yeah, it's going down, So it's going to be a shocker to a lot of people, because to a lot of people who are not in the know, they can't see it. It's like, nah, there's no way America's going to rule forever. There's no way, See, that's what people assume. That's what they think, but they don't know. How has Babylon, America, become a desolation among the nations? Right. So, right there. Okay, how has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? Because it's going to be a desolate, flat. How? By the I.C.B.Ms. It's going to be, and it's going to be something to see, Verse 24. I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken. So the Lord has America in a trick bag. Okay? The Lord has America in a trick bag. Alright? And also, the Lord has these Edomites and heathens fully surrounded. Alright? Because remember, the angels are out here. And the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai is out here. So remember, it don't matter how our enemies slice it, they are surrounded on all sides. Okay, they cannot leave. Yeah, it don't matter. Remember, what their best spies out there, their best teams out there, their best militaries out there. It don't matter, you know, if they all team up, they're all gonna get beat down by Yahushua and the angels. Remember that, you know, our enemies can get mad, lie, say whatever, you know. At this point, they're so close to going to slavery. It's not really, you know, you don't even gotta get worked up, you know, because it don't matter what these heathens and Edomites say, they're not gonna change anything. They're about to, a lot of them are about to be melted alive by thermonuclear fire, and then the rest are going to be caught up by the angels in Yahushua and the 144,000, the house of David. Yep, you know. So at this point, because we're so close to their destruction, their destruction is at hand, you know. Yeah. Verse 24. I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, thou was not aware. See that? Because America, yeah, they're not aware. You know, they think that, oh, no, we're going to rule forever. Ain't no one going to take us down. You kidding me? You know? See? And thou art found and also caught, because thou hast, here we go, check it out. Okay? Check this out. This is more proof to let you know that America is complete, that the leaders, of course, okay? The top leaders are against the Lord. All right? Let me read it again from the top. Verse 24, I have laid a snare for thee. The Lord has laid a snare for America. And thou art also taken, because this place will be invaded. All right? And this is why, too, there's so many sleeper cells here, ready to rock and roll. Okay? O Babylon, America, thou was not aware. Thou art found and also caught. Here we go. Because why? Let's continue. Because thou, okay, America, has striven against the Lord. Because right there, all right, these leaders are clearly against the Lord, you know. So when you know, Trump just goes and says, hey, you know, that the Bible is his favorite book, okay, it's a complete lie. All right, because Edomites do not believe in the Lord, okay? They believe in Satan, bafflement. All right, you know, why would this book be Trump's favorite book? King James Version, Bible. Why? You know, this book, okay, according to this book, all right, him and his whole nation are going to slavery, and they're about to be melted by thermonuclear fire, and the survivors that are in their underground retreats are going to get snatched up by Yahushua, the angels, and the 144,000. But yeah, this is his favorite book. You still think Donald Trump's telling you the truth? You know, this book, you know, condemns him. You know, see, you know, remember the God of the Bible hates the Edomites, and is gonna after put them into slavery for 1,000 years. After that, he's gonna exterminate them. You know, you still think this is his favorite book? See? All right, so this is why these leaders, they're nervous. Remember, it doesn't matter how, when they get on the podium and they tell the world one thing, remember, they're freaking out, okay, because they're on the ropes, okay? Esau's on the ropes, ladies and gentlemen. He's on his last limbs, okay? So remember, our enemies are on the ropes. So it don't matter what lie they tell you, okay? It don't matter, you know, if they put on a fake smile, whatever. We know that they're nervous and they're scared. Okay? You're telling me that they're about to be snatched up by the Lord and the angels, and they're not scared? Okay? They're about to be melted by thermonuclear fire, and the top survivors are going to be snatched up by the Yahushua himself and the angels, and the 144,000 with spiritual power that can just walk through walls, go through teleport, you know? And you telling me these dudes are not freaking out? They're shitting it, you know? Oh, hell yeah, you know? These dudes are losing sleep. See? So that's why those in the know, you guys can just relax a little bit, you know? Don't get so worked up. It don't matter what these leaders say. Let them, you know, let them talk trash. Let them, you know? Because the joke's on them. They're going to slavery. They're about to get destroyed out here, you know? It don't matter how they slice it. They're going down. You see? So that's what those in the know, that should comfort you, you know? Because, of course, at the end of the day, you're always going to have that anger towards your enemies. You know, that's normal. But just remember, they're not going anywhere, you guys. You know? So don't get all worked up, you know? When this devil starts persecuting, you know, the hopeful elect and coming up with lies and all that, it's all right. Remember, our enemies, they're in. Remember, they're not going anywhere. And whatever they do to the hopeful elect, it's nothing compared to what Yahushua and the angels and the 144,000 are about to do to them. All right, because what the Lord and the angels are about to do to them is beyond your imagination. You know? Yeah. So just remember that. Okay. Just remember that. You know, keep that in mind. Okay. All right. You already seen what, you know, the American military, when they rained that hellfire, okay, on the chariot of Israel, what did it do? It had none effect. Nothing. All right, and that's coming from the strongest military in the world, and they can't even phase the ships. So you imagine when the Lord and the angels get here, yeah, it's total beatdown. You know, it's totally overkill. So that should give you some comfort that it don't matter how mad the enemy gets. Let them throw a tantrum. Let them, you know, let them get mad. Remember, they're not going anywhere. Anywhere. You know? Remember, Yahushua's spaceship is bigger than the planet Earth. But yet, these devils think like, oh yeah, you know, they got a chance. You're telling me these dudes are not retarded? You know? So that should just, you know, hopefully, you know, give you a little comfort, you know? To, you know, just don't be too worked up, you know? Because, remember, these leaders right now, they are the wicked. Okay? But, you know, something that you have to know is that, you know, these leaders around the world, they are corrupt, you know? So don't get too worked up when they say certain things, you know? Just know in the back of your head that, you know, they are corrupt. They are the wicked. It's just the way they are. But know that they're not going anywhere, you know? That they're surrounded by the angels. You know, none of their teams are going anywhere. NATO, those of you guys out there in the EU, those of you militias out there that work for the left-hand side, you're all about to get stomped out by the angels. You know, you ain't going nowhere, you know? All of Esau's teams, you know, that work for like the royal banking families, Operation Zypher, all you clowns, all right, you know, you guys ain't going anywhere, you know? So that's something that, you know, that's something that, you know, you guys gotta keep in mind, okay? Because, yeah, it doesn't matter what, you know, these, it doesn't matter what these, people, you know, how mad the wicked get, you know, they're not going anywhere. Verse 25, the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai hath opened up his armory. Alright, so the armory is like, you know, like when you go to someone's house and they have like a safe, you know, just in case there's a robber or something happens. Let's say like your dad has, you know, for instance, at his house he has a safe and he has like a shotgun, a rifle, a handgun, you know, maybe a machete, whatever, okay? Because that's his armory. Inside the safe is an armory, okay? Because that's his weapons of choice. See? So right now we're in judgment. So the Lord's opening up his armory. This is why he's unleashing the Edomites. Because remember, this is why another title, okay, for the Lord is the Lord of hosts, Lord of armies. Because the Lord created the Edomites. That's why he's going to unleash them on you wicked 2/3. Okay, look at what Trump's doing. He ain't wasting no time. That's coming from the Lord. Alright, remember, Esau is the sword of the Lord on the left-hand side. So he's going to unleash this man. You know, and you Jakes, a lot of you Jakes out there think that, you know, that the Lord's just playing around. Like, oh, no, ain't nothing going to happen. Shh, good luck, you know. You see? Because the Lord controls everything. You know how bad you're gonna die. You know how long it's gonna take. The Lord controls your pain receptors, everything. You know, the Lord could just paralyze you. The Lord could just hit you with cancer. The Lord can totally jack your shit up. You know, that's to you wicked two-thirds out there. You know, the Lord can really, you know, jack you up. He can leave you like a vegetable out here, you know? Have you get in a car accident where you're just paralyzed now. And you have to be fed like applesauce, you know? And you're just in a wheelchair. Imagine, you know? Yeah. The Lord can really jack you up, you know? Remember that show, 1,000 Ways to Die? There's more than that when it comes to the Lord, you know? The Lord knows how to really, He knows exactly how to get you two-thirds. You see? The Lord had opened up His armory. So right now, this is why the Lord's like, all right, He's assembling His I.C.B.Ms. He's activating the so-called white man, the Edomites, to come down now. Okay? All right? Pretty soon the Lord's going to activate the 144,000. All right? So the Lord is opening up His armory, you know, for judgment. See? And hath brought forth the weapons of His indignation. Right? Because they're His weapons. Okay? Because the Lord controls everything here that goes on in the planet Earth. Everything. Okay? Even Satan. Okay? He goes to Yahweh every day. All right? That's how much the Lord controls everything on the planet Earth. Everything. On both sides. The left-hand side and the right-hand side. For this is the work of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai, Lord of hosts, Lord of armies, you see? Because this is of the Lord. Forget the Illuminati, Freemasons, Jesuits, forget them. This is the work of the Lord. See? Because it's of His doing. So what does that mean? That means that no one's going to stop it. Alright? Because you can't prevent prophecy. You can't stop it. Because this is of the Lord. This comes from, you know, these orders come from way up, from the top. Okay, these orders are coming from the top. All right, from the top boss. See? So that's why these heathens, with their vain imaginations, that they're gonna try to stop it and try to escape the Lord and prophecy is, you know, it's a complete. It's just, you know, it's complete, you know, foolishness, you know. But that's all right, you know. That's just, you know, He's ultimately gonna try to give it all He got because He wants to hold on to His kingdom, you know, which is understandable, you know, because you know, who's just gonna lay down and, you know, let someone take their kingdom, you know. So with that being said, you gotta understand that these Edomites, yeah, they're not just gonna go out, okay? They're gonna go out swinging, you know. And look at how much power these Edomites have. Remember that. They're not just going to lay down and be like, all right, well, we're just going to give up our kingdom. No, they're going to go out gun blazing, you know? They're going to go out swinging, you know? So with that, you know, this Jacob's trouble is going to be we're already in the beginning stages, you know? So something that you Jakes out there got to understand is that it's going to be very, very heavy out here. Very, very serious, you know? Because, yes, these Edomites are going to catch that beat down from the Lord and the angels in the 144, but prior to that, before that, this man does have a green light to unleash holy hell on the planet Earth, and that's worldwide, and not just America, worldwide. This man's going to bring chaos, you know. Yep, the Lord's going to allow this man to give it one last hoorah, you know, before it's all said and done. So you think these Edomites are just going to sit, you know, just sit on it? Nah, they're gonna go all out. You know, imagine. So, yeah. For this is the work of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim El-Shai, Lord of hosts, in the land of the Chaldeans. Oh, so that's talking about America right there. Okay, Chaldeans is the, you know, it's the America. Why? Because America is the main stage for these elites, you know? Like the apostles always say, America is the elite's main cash cow. But also, everything that America does, it impacts and it influences the rest of the world, you know? Because everybody, knows about America, Everybody knows about the Kardashians worldwide, Kanye, LeBron, everybody knows, So America is the main stage where these elites push their witchcraft, their sorcery, celebrity, all that crap. See? And this right here, America, it's this is where they push all their like their agendas and stuff. You see? Okay. Verse 26. Come against her. Verse 26. Come against her from the uttermost border. Open her storehouses. Cast her up as heaps and destroy her utterly. See? Check this out. Let nothing of her be left. So completely overkill this place. Completely overkill this place. Verse 27. Slay her bullocks. Let them go down to the slaughter. See? Slaughter. There's a major slaughter coming. Remember, all America is gonna be an altar. Alright, whoever's not part of the elect, you're all about to be sacrificed. Everybody on America. If you're not part of the hopeful elect, you will die. Okay? But that's why those of you those of you hypocrites out there, you vipers and hypocrites out there that are part of these bugged out Israelite camps and are not teaching about the hopeful elect, you're completely bugged out, because it's all about the elect. They're the only ones who are going to be saved. Everybody else is not going to make it. So it's all about the elect. You kidding me or what? So that's why these other groups don't teach about the elect. It's like, well, what are you teaching about then? Because it's all about the elect. Alright? Why? Because they're the only ones who are going to make it out of here. Alright? Except the very few elites. The Rothschilds, Rockefellers, and some of, Moab, Ishmael. Because the Lord is going to save only a few of the elites of the heathen, because they're going to be the first crops in slavery. But everybody else will not make it. Yeah. Remember, a lot of people are about to die out here. Ain't no just little thing, where it's gonna be a little civil war and people are gonna build again. Nah, okay. Remember, the Creator is coming. With the angels. You see? Yep. Yeah. Ain't nothing small. So that's why when these heathens talk trash or whatever, like Trump, it don't even matter. Okay, he say that Trump World War III is not gonna happen. That don't even matter. His words don't even matter. He don't even matter. Okay, he's set up to do a job. That's it. Okay, but don't matter what these leaders say, because these leaders, they don't even matter, because they're going to slavery. Okay, starting with the Rothschilds, Rockefellers on down. Facts, Yeah. Because remember, the Lord and the angels have this whole planet surrounded. So does it even matter what people say? It don't even matter, mija. It don't even matter, mija. So this is why you shouldn't get too worked up. Because they don't even matter. They're going to slavery. See? So does it even matter at the end of the day if they lie their ass off? Let them lie their ass off, Because remember, you guys, Akim Akwath, our enemies are not going anywhere. So rejoice, Verse 27, slay all her bullocks, let them go down to the slaughter. Woe unto them, for their day is come, the time of their visitation. Right, okay? Because, the time of their visitation, because the Lord is literally going to come down here, He's literally going to come down here and, and wreck shop. Let me get my final scripture here. Bear with me. Second Esdras, chapter 16, verse 13. For strong is his right hand. Who? Yahweh's right hand. Who is Yahweh Shai, our Lord and Savior, who the world stubbornly and ignorantly called Jesus Christ. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. Because the Lord's the one getting these nations ready to shoot those I.C.B.Ms. It's not up to these leaders. It's not up to these the Rockefellers. It's not up to the Rothschilds. The Lord's doing this. That's what you guys got to understand. All right, so it don't matter if they say, oh, on TV, these leaders. I'm just using Trump as an example because he just said it recently that there's not going to be no World War III. Don't even worry about it. Don't even let that get you mad because the Lord's in control, Yeah, so it don't matter what these leaders say. If it's not according to Scripture, it don't even matter, If they're just lying, let them lie their ass off. It don't mean nothing. It's not going to get us worked up because it doesn't mean that just because Trump says it that it's not going to happen. It's going to happen 100%, See? So now the Lord is just, mocking our enemies. Remember that, because they think that actually they can stop the Lord's prophecy, and the Lord is making them look like complete idiots. You see, all we gotta do is just sit back, watch the show, and laugh, and watch our enemies, because our enemies are nervous. Remember, all we gotta do is just watch them scramble, because they're trying to get this new world order going in desperation, So we just gotta, the hopeful elect just has to, just occupy yourself in prophecy, stay in the word, and just keep the faith, and just watch our enemies, scramble like roaches at this point, because remember, our enemies, they're on the ropes, and a few more hits, and they're going down to slavery. Only a few more jabs, a few more kidney punches, and, and they're going down. See? Remember that, our enemies, they're on the ropes. They're in desperation. They're desperate right now at this point. Yeah. Remember, we're not going to slavery again. But our enemies are. So hey, why? Right. So why? Why be wary? His arrows that shooteth are sharp. Okay. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, the I.C.B.Ms, and shall not miss. Alright? So just like in Joel 2, remember, they're not going to bump into each other. They're not going to veer off to the side, take a detour. Not one or two is going to malfunction. Okay, they're all going to go to their mark because the angels are going to grab them. See? And shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. All right. So what arrows can be shot into the ends of the world? All right. It's not your typical arrow. All right. It's talking about the I.C.B.Ms. Okay. The supersonic missiles, the ballistic missiles. Okay. The I.C.B.Ms. See. So that's it on today's lesson. Okay, on the I.C.B.Ms are prophecy. It's very very heavy. Okay, it's very very heavy because what you brothers and sisters gotta know out there is that it don't matter. What you gotta know in your mind is it don't matter what these leaders say, starting with Trump. It don't matter if the Rothschild, that dude King Charles, wherever, that clown, okay? All right? It don't matter what these leaders say worldwide. Leaders from the EU, leaders from the UN. It don't matter what any of these clowns say. Elon Musk, okay? Klaus Schwab, Noah Harari. It don't matter what any of them say. They're going down, They're going down, they're going down. All right? So, with that, okay, stay occupied in prophecy, okay, and just keep, keep striving to, keep striving to please the Lord. All right, forget this world. You know, strive to please the Lord. You want to please the Lord. All right, that's, you know, that is the number one thing. Okay, because if your ways please the Lord, everything else is gonna be, you know, everything else is going to, you know, fall in place. You know, but you just want to make sure that, you know, your ways pleases the Lord. See? So with that, shalom. Stay prayed up. Shalom.